What's going on everybody, Didi here, and in this video we're going to learn how to accept user input in Haxe. So let's get started. First, let's create a variable to store the user input that we're going to accept. Var space, let's call this variable name, and it's going to be a string. Now let's write a line of code to ask for the user's name. Sys.println, what is your name? Now we have to accept the input the user enters and store it inside the name variable. We can do this by typing name is equal to sys as in system dot stdin followed by a set of parentheses as in standard input dot read line with an uppercase L followed by another set of parentheses. Now we can finally print the user input that we just accepted with another print line statement. Your name is plus name. Now if I save and build the program and enter dead weight, the program prints your name is dead weight. You can actually combine these two lines into a single line. Instead of creating a variable first and then assigning it to the user input on a different line, you can combine those two processes into a single line by creating a variable and accepting the user input on the same line. You can do this by adding the var prefix before the name variable here and then getting rid of this line. Now if I save and build the project again, we get the same result. Next up, let's create a program that asks when the user was born and then prints their age. Let's delete all of these lines. And just like with the previous code, I'll start by asking the user for their birth year. Print line, which year were you born? And now we have to accept the user input and store it inside the birth year variable. Var space birth year is equal to sys.stdin dot read line. And to calculate the user's age, we need to subtract the birth year from the current year. So let's create a new variable called age. Var space age is equal to 2026, which is the current year, minus birth year. Lastly, let's print our output with another print line statement. You are plus age plus years old. Now if I save and try running the program returns an error. String should be int. This happens because when we accept the user input, it is of the string data type. So we need to first convert it to an integer, which we can do using the parseInt function. So all we have to do is place the birth year variable inside of the parseInt function before subtracting it from current year. Now if I save and build the program, which year were you born, and if I enter something like 2004, you are 22 years old. There's another way of doing this as well. You can both accept the user input and convert it to an integer on the same line of code. But before we do that, we have to first understand how a code runs. When you write a line of code, the code inside a set of parentheses always runs before the code outside it. So let's first list the things we have to do in chronological order. First, we have to accept the user input, which should be of the string data type, and then we need to convert it to an integer. So let's delete the birth year variable and replace it with age. And let's place this line of code inside of the parseInt function. And when you look at this code from the inside to outside, we're first accepting the user input and then we're converting it to an integer using the parseInt function. And now all we have to do is delete the var prefix from this line of code and then get rid of this and replace it with age. And now if I save and build the program again, which year were you born, and when I enter 2004, we got the same result as before. But instead of using two variables to do it, now we did it with one variable. So that's how we accept user input in Haxe. See you all on the next video, and until then, adios.